Before we get into this week's episode of Wake Up the Echoes, I wanted to make sure and come on here and congratulate Notre Dame football on a great season this year. I know last night did not go the way that Notre Dame fans hoped it would, but when you think about what this team has done, just a phenomenal performance from start to finish. Marcus Freeman has this team going in the right direction. They made it all the way to the title game and came up just one game short. Because of the scheduling of the national title being on a Monday, we had to move some things around. So we had a women's basketball conversation that we recorded about a week ago. That will air this week for this week's edition of Wake Up the Echoes. And then when the football team is back on campus, we'll have a chance to kind of debrief on the entire season and talk to Coach Freeman one last time this year to wrap up what was a great season in year 3 for him. So that conversation is coming a little bit later in Wake Up the Echoes down the line. But before then, let's talk some women's basketball and get to this week's show. I've been sitting here trying to come up with a clever intro for this week's edition of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com, and I can't come up with anything because a cat has my tongue. His name's Bean. You're going to meet Bean a little bit later in this week's episode as it's a women's basketball conversation. It was great to get that team back on the set. Of course, had Niele Ivey, head coach, to talk about really how her team's playing right now. 14-2 at the time of recording. Haven't lost a game in the United States this year. They've just been phenomenal. They beat UConn at home, the big signature win on national TV. We had a chance to talk with her and, of course, Pete Bevacqua, the athletics director. Just kind of big picture about where Coach Ivey has this program in her time here. Then a little bit later, Maddy Westbeld, my normal co-host, came by. She also brought her teammate, Olivia Miles, who's playing great, both coming back off of injuries. Olivia after the injury a couple years ago, and then Maddy getting back in the fold here. It was good to talk to them. They, of course, are roommates, and Bean is their cat. The cat was on the set. If you don't watch normally, this is a great episode to go check out on our YouTube page so you can get a good look at Bean. He was a joy to be around. So let's not waste any time. Let's talk some women's basketball. Coach Ivey, great to see you again. I've got a very special guest here, Pete Bevacqua. I brought him on the couch for this unique show.
Very, very special.
How have you been? I haven't seen you in like a month or so. Things are going well?
Yeah, I've been great. The team we're rolling, just getting better game by game and just having a lot of fun right now.
14-2, but I have a stat. Undefeated on American soil.
Yes.
14-0 in the United States. Something about the sweet United States that's keeping you guys undefeated right now.
Yeah, I'm loving the statewide record. I love it.
We talked, I think, before the big games coming up against Texas and then UConn. I mean, obviously, phenomenal wins for your team. Just you're at the midway point of the season. What's standing out for you so far at the midway point?
Yeah, I mean, just our chemistry, the way that we're growing every game by game. Our schedule has been really tough. Our resilience. I've had a different starting lineup almost every game. I've had injuries, some adversity that was, that we've gotten hit with, and the resilience of this group, everyone stepping up, just adding new players and players getting healthy. So I'm really proud of our growth and just excited to see what we're doing and how we're building.
We're going to talk to Maddy a little bit later, as she always joins us, and she's back, which is great, like you said. Do you think there's an element, though, when you do have all those different lineups, that over the long haul, it can help you when you get to the postseason, that the deck's been shuffled a bunch and everyone's kind of getting experience they might not otherwise get if you're just fully healthy the whole way?
Absolutely. I'm encouraged by it. Kate got some incredible experience early on. Cass coming back from injury, Emma, Maddy being inserted back into our rotation, Liza, Leah too. I mean, everyone's getting phenomenal experience, and Olivia coming back from injury, being out for as long as she was, and just this group, I'm really encouraged by it. I think having more depth allows me to do a lot more. I'd rather, at this point, add players than lose players like the last 3 years. So I'm really encouraged by it. And like I said, this group is so fun to work with. So it's exciting for me to see everyone get healthy.
Pete, we talked about it, I think, after UConn, maybe 3 weeks ago when you were on the couch last. And what stood out to us was just the way that the support is kind of showing up for this team. It feels like there's even a different buzz than in years past in Purcell. Have you seen that continue here at the midway point in the season? And what's been your impression of the way this team's rolling here on campus?
Yeah, it's been amazing. You think about that UConn game, and I think I said it at the time, Tony. That's as hyped up and as energetic as I've ever seen the Purcell Pavilion, and I've been to a ton of basketball games in there over my think back to when I was a student here, even before that, it was just off the charts. And a wonderful combination of the Notre Dame student body and the community, coming together to support this team. And you think about the run that Niele and the team is on, to be able to beat USC, UConn, Texas, and they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's such a fun team, and the leadership on the team. When you think about Liv and Sony, and now with Maddy back, having those veterans, and then obviously everything Hannah and Koval and two being a transfer. It's a team that right now is just firing on all cylinders, and they're fun. They're fun to watch, as I said.
I'm going to put you on the hot seat a little bit, but 100 wins already. Fastest in ACC history is my understanding. And this is going to start with Pete. Just like, what does that tell you about how well this program has fired under Coach Ivey? Because like you said, the run they're on, the 100 wins is a reflection of just how successful they've been so quickly.
Yeah, well, Niele's like the perfect Notre Dame story. You think about somebody who came here as a Notre Dame student athlete, had an unbelievable career, went through some tough times with 2 injuries, right, to her knees, but rebounded, won a national championship, and then went and played professionally, and then her coaching career, which was just off the charts, and then to make the decision to come back to Notre Dame as an assistant and put herself in the position to be the head coach at Notre Dame when Muffet stepped down, and then what she has done in such a short amount of time. And, I'm lucky that I get to see it day in and day out, whether it's at games or at practices. But you can just tell how this team just responds to Niele and respects her and loves her. They really are just this unbelievably close group of people that have come together and just enjoy each other's company. It's refreshing. We're lucky to have that here, and that's because of Niele.
Can you believe you have 100 wins already? Because I feel like you were just hired. I mean, time flies, but you also have done it fast. Like, can you believe you have 100 wins?
No, it definitely went by so fast, and it's a credit to everyone that poured into me, all my mentors, Coach McGraw being my number one mentor, and surrounded by great staff members and coaches and the players. I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't have incredible players. And I always go back to, Maddy, Nat, Dara, Olivia, and Sony, which was the first group that believed.
OGs.
Yeah, the OGs that believed in the vision. You have to have great players, and you have to have players that believe in the vision. And I presented it, and they believed in it. And I'm just grateful just to be around such an incredible family. And I love this university, so to be able to have that type of reward of winning and trying to help this program means more than the 100 wins.
You brought something up, Pete, and it just clicked in my head, and I want to ask you about this, Coach. I can't. Maybe we talked about it once upon a time, but I have to ask you about it now. The image that sticks with me with Coach Freeman when he was hired is that he comes through the locker room door and the team just swarms him. That was in 2021. 2020, there was, I think, a Zoom call with a bunch of former players, and I think they kind of announced that you were the next coach. It was a time we couldn't all get together, but it was the digital version of that. I remember watching that or seeing the footage, and just everyone was so excited that it was you. When you think back to that, getting to 100 wins, like what comes to mind? Because what stood out to me was not just that, the announcement was you were going to be the coach. It was how excited everyone was that you were going to be the one that kind of took the torch from Muffet and carried it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, that meant the world to me because those were my former teammates, and either former players that I helped as an assistant coach or just, legends that came before me and paved the way before me. So to have that embrace and that love and support through a Zoom call just meant the world to me because I'm a big relationship person. So for me, it made me feel that there's an impact with the current team, with the former team, and with my teammates. And again, the belief and trust, Jack giving me that opportunity. It's all about opportunity as well.
Yeah.
So having that opportunity, I'm just blessed.
I want to ask you one more thing before we take a break, and it's related to Coach Freeman. I had Coach Shrewsbury on the couch last week, and I asked him, what it's like to watch this run because he's an Indiana guy. He's always been a Notre Dame football fan, and he's close with Coach Freeman. He's been really excited. I know you work closely with Coach Freeman, and you're, of course, a Notre Dame alum, and you went to school here, and so I'm sure you care about the football team. Where's your excitement level about football? And then additionally, what's it been like seeing Coach Freeman have the success he's had?
My excitement level is through the roof. I'm wearing green every day. We had a game watch. I'm watching on the road. I had the opportunity to travel with them, actually, when they played Georgia Tech, so I got a chance to see it.
I saw you there.
Yeah,
I saw you in the elevator.
I see it firsthand just to see the amazing things that Coach Freeman is doing in that team. And he's a player's coach as well. To see what he's done in a very short amount of time has just been nothing short of incredible. And just loving the way that they're playing. They're so passionate. They always talk about the team. It's we over I, and just to watch this group just manifest this incredible run, but also the excitement, the inspiration that they're having for the community, and the love and the support. I think it's amazing, and I'm so excited for Monday.
Oh,
cannot wait.
And what's nice to see, Tony, is how the coaches support each other. I mean, Marcus and his family, they're fixtures at Niele's games. You look across, and he or some of his children or Joanna, they're there in the front row cheering the team on. And it's great to see the relationships among our coaches and how they support each other. It's really wonderful. And I think another reason why this is such a special experience for our Notre Dame student athletes.
Yeah, when you see that, what does that mean to you? Because it'd be easy as the head coach of any team to, you can't make the time. You got a lot of stuff going on. He's had a lot of your games. What does that mean when you see the head coach there?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything. Again, we have a great relationship, and some of our toughest losses, if he had a tough loss or I have had a tough loss, we're the first people to text each other to lift each other up. So to see him present in the games, I remember like we first got the job, we played North Carolina, and he was at the game, but it wasn't just for photo ops. He's been to every game consistently supporting us, and it just shows the character of who Coach Freeman is. And he's a girl dad. He realizes the impact that he makes by showing up for women, by supporting women, because he has daughters of his own. So I think that's really important as he brings his daughters to watch women and watch myself, a woman, lead women. I think it's really important.
Coach, great to talk to you. I'm going to keep you here. Pete, great to see you as always. We're going to bring in Maddy Westbeld. Okay, Coach, Pete Bevacqua, he took off, and we brought in Maddy Westbeld, who's my normal co-host for this show, which is exciting, and I haven't seen you in a while, but it's a good time for you to come back on the couch because you've been back on the floor.
Right.
Let's start with you. How does it feel to be back on the floor?
It feels amazing. I'm really just trying to be patient right now, and just enjoying the moment. I'm trying not to put any pressure on myself, just taking it one day at a time and trying to get better every day. That's really just my only focus, my only goal.
I want to talk to you, I think maybe when Olivia's here, she's going to join us later, just about coming back from injury. She has another special guest we're going to dive into as well. It's a secret for now. But just real quick, just now that you're two games back, just what's the toughest part when you first come back? Because I've talked to a lot of athletes, specifically with basketball. I just saw it with Marcus Burton. That first game or two back, did you feel like extra sore the first couple of games, or is it conditioning? What's been the biggest challenge getting back on the court for you?
I mean, for me, everything is mental. I think that when you first come back, especially from a surgery like this, I think it was just ripping the Band-Aid off. Like you haven't done anything. Like the whole process of recovery has been really rapid, and then getting back to game shape. Obviously, that's where I'm trying to get better, is during the game. And so a lot of times, like in the off season, that's where you put all that work in. And so it's interesting for me to kind of get better during the game. So I think for me, that's definitely the hardest part, of just letting everything go and just try to just do my best.
From your standpoint, Coach, what have you seen from Maddy, not just coming back, but really the first half of the season, in the role she had to play, not on the court, as a veteran and leader? Just what have you seen from her that's been helpful for this team?
Yeah, I mean, her resilience, she has this presence and this aura about her, and she's had to lead differently. And she was somebody that started every game. She's been here, this is her fifth year. Is somebody that is just a pivotal piece of who we are at Notre Dame. And she's led from a different perspective, and this team really respects her. They love her, and she's just shown a lot of strength and resilience. And I think that really has helped our team.
You've been a part of this team since she started coaching. We were talking about it before you got here. I think you overheard it. 100 wins. I saw the locker room footage. Like, you guys were pretty excited for Coach. Like, what does it mean to be a part of that first stretch with Coach Ivey to get to 100 wins for you?
It's such a blessing, like, to just be a part of your journey, because you're somebody who's just great. And no, like, great in every sense. Like, you walk in a room and you feel her presence. So, like, greatness is, I don't know, it's like consistency every day, showing up in grace and showing up in power. And I feel like that's just who you are, and it's a blessing to be a part of that from beginning to now.
Okay, I want to pick at that a little bit. So it seems like you obviously love playing for Coach, but I also get the sense like it's more than just being a player on her team.
Absolutely.
What are the things that stand out that you've really appreciated about being around her that are not related to basketball?
Yeah, I think she wears like a lot of hats. And
comes with the job, maybe.
Yeah, and she's very present in every hat that she has to wear at that time. So like, if she has to get on us during practice, then you get the full version of that. But then after practice, after game, whatever it is, she'll flip the switch, and it's like, okay, let me give you a hug and let's talk about it, or whatever you need at that moment. And then you also see her show up for her son in every way. So it's just a beautiful thing to see someone, like I said, walk with so much grace and then also so much power when you're wearing so many hats, have so many things to do.
How do you do that, Coach? That to me, when I look at head coaches at any school, certainly this school where there's so many demands academically on your students, and there's just so many things going on. How do you wear all the hats and make sure that when you've got the one hat on, it gets 100% of the attention and you're able to then take it off and have the other hat? Like, how do you do that?
Well, first of all, I'm just so grateful, even just for you saying that. I think I'm living in my purpose, so this doesn't feel like work for me. It's a passion of mine. I mean, I love this group. I love these young women, the ones that have graduated, the relationships that I've had with everybody that's touched my life through basketball and through Notre Dame. Yeah. So, like she mentioned, I just try to stay as present as I can in every aspect of my life, and I know that I am blessed to be able to do this. I'm blessed to be able to work in this university and work with such phenomenal young women. So, I'm blessed to be a mother. I'm blessed to be a daughter, a sister. So I try to be present, a TT. I try to be present in every aspect of my life and bring the best of me to the people that I'm surrounded by. And knowing that I have a big impact, I try my best to be the best so I can help others.
Okay. I need to interject here and remind people that this is our Cooler Conversations segment presented by Yeti. I forgot that at the beginning because I was so excited to see Matt back on the couch. But that leads me to a follow-up question on, we used to do the coldest moment presented by Yeti. I want to know, think back now to the 100 wins, Maddy. Do you have a coldest win or coolest win that comes to mind in your time here with Coach Ivey? I want Coach to think about it, too, of the 100 wins. Mm-hmm. You don't get to count the most recent ones after 100. Just of the first 100, is there one to come to mind that's your favorite?
I mean, for me, it's got to be the ACC title.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we were just exhausted by that point, and it was really just will to win.
Yeah.
And you could see it on her face, like she wanted it so bad, and she wanted it for us, and we wanted it for her. So it was just like, work until you get it.
Okay. Is that for you, too? Or
I'm going to say that one because that was so big. Just actually getting our first win. We were regular season champs, but winning the first championship, like you mentioned, it was so hard. And playing 3 games in a row is just so difficult. And for us to accomplish that was huge. And then I would say our first win versus a ranked opponent when we played NC State and beat them here.
Yeah.
And there's a couple pictures.
They were good that year.
Oh, they were top 3 in the country. That was like our first big, it was kind of like, yeah, we're here. And, I think Liv and Sony might have been a sophomore. Liv and Sony were sophomores, and it was a monumental win, a statement win for us, this group, and just knowing like we are growing and we're here. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget when they missed their 3. There's a picture of Dara, Liv, and Sony like sprinting back, and we all jumped together in the huddle, and it was just the picture that I'm gonna have in my house. I have it. They're preparing it for my office, but it was one picture that I always kind of told the story of the growth of this, the vision of this group and the growth of this program.
It's funny how that works, right? Like there have been bigger wins and there will be bigger wins, but there might not be more meaningful wins too. And that's kind of cool. I like thinking of it that way. I wanted to follow up on something because I always think about this with the ACC tournament. How hard is it to play those games back to back to back?
It's tough.
Yeah.
I remember getting a text from Coach Knox. And he texted me at the beginning of the week, and he was like, "You got to prepare now. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but sit down, because like
get off your feet."
Oh yeah, it was like it really was a life lesson. Like, if you want to prepare for something, it's gonna be really hard. Like, start now. or if you wait till you get there, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it's a tough trek. But I mean, I guess that just shows the resilience of not only the ACC, but of this team, but of, just your individual self.
My favorite win. No one asked me, but I'm going to get it. What was the UConn game about a month ago, right? Was it the 12th? I think, yeah, about a month ago today.
Yeah.
The reason for that is Holly Rowe had the report. I think the stat is true that it was the most student support for a women's basketball game. And you guys have always had great fans at the women's basketball game. Don't get me wrong. But just there was a different buzz from everyone I talked to that was there watching it on TV and then seeing her in the student section. I'm curious for you, Maddy. You've been here now 5 years. Like, did you feel that? Like, did you feel that game was different and it was a different energy and a different kind of support from the student body?
It was loud. It was the loudest I've ever experienced, even from the bench. Like, you go to other places and if it's hostile, it's because there's students there. And it's a hard place to play because there's students there and they're closer to the court, they're louder, and they can talk directly to the players. So, like, to have just even a little bit of that at our place, you really felt their presence, and it was just cool. Like, we had never experienced that before.
Okay, last topic before we get Olivia in here, and I'll start with you, Coach. I want to hear from you too, though, Maddy. Just midway point of the season, going forward, you kind of alluded to it. You're getting people back at the right time. Just what are you most excited about with this stretch, let's say, of the next 2 months of the regular season?
Yeah, I think, again, just getting better game by game. This group is really mature. They're very resilient, like we've talked about, but they're very focused, and they understand to keep the noise out. We're playing well right now. It's really tough getting wins in this league, and just knowing that this group is focused and ready to get better every game, every day. And they're just so fun to work with because they allow me to coach them. And I think that's what I love the most about this group. They're very close-knit. Again, they're very focused. They take it game by game, but they want to be great. They want to be coached. And when you're around a group that's so motivated, it's a great gym to be a part of.
What about you, Maddy? Obviously, back on the floor is exciting for you. Every game, I'm sure you'll feel even more and more comfortable. What excites you about this back half of the season?
I mean, for me, it's just like practice tomorrow. I'm just excited for it.
You're in the moment.
Yeah, I'm just in the moment. I'm wanting to get better every day, and I want to challenge myself and challenge my teammates and allow my teammates to challenge me and allow the coaching staff to challenge me. Like, I'm just trying to embrace every single day.
Okay. All right. Well, Coach, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to get Olivia in here and keep up the great work on domestic soil. 14-0 in the U.S.
Staying domestic. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later. All right. This is a first on Wake Up the Echoes. We've brought in Olivia Miles and our first animal guest. Who is this, Olivia?
This is Bean. Oh, look, he's answering.
Bean.
This is Bean, my cat.
Okay.
I mean, our cat.
So you guys have custody of the cat? Okay. How does that work exactly?
Share.
Okay.
Share him.
You just both take care. You guys are roommates?
Yes.
Okay.
Roommates. So he lives with us.
And all the responsibilities break down evenly. Litter, feeding, you guys just split it? How does that go?
Yeah. Basically, well, I usually get up earlier, so I will feed him in the morning.
Okay.
And then depending on who gets back late at night, we'll feed him at night. And then it's kind of just a shared thing with the litter. You kind of just got
whenever it's due.
Yeah. Whenever.
Yeah. It can get overdue pretty quickly. So I have a cat, Toulouse. He's a great guy. And so a couple things, though, when you get older, you guys are still young enough, you can probably handle all the duties. We've got automatic litter box, automatic feeder.
Okay,
so
we have the automatic.
Heard about
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but not the automatic litter box.
Yeah.
That's
like
a game changer.
Next level. Yeah, we had a real baby, a human baby. And so we were like, okay, let's make the litter a little bit more manageable here. How old is Bean?
Bean is about 6 months old.
6 months?
It's a baby.
Oh, he is very well behaved.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because,
must have two good parents.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. But actually, a little context with Bean. So, Sonia has a cat named Bill. Actually, godmother of Bill. And so we lived in a house last year, and so we would watch Bill like frequently whenever Sonya would go out of town or anything.
Okay.
And so fell in love with him. And so Bean is actually Bill's little cousin.
Bean and Bill.
Same
Yeah,
breeder.
Bean and Bill.
Really?
Yeah, same breed.
So you guys always been cat people?
No, not really.
Never.
So Bill brought you into the cat.
He really did. Yeah. Well, personally, I never really liked cats before. But
Now you've seen the light.
I have seen it.
So I talked to Enrique and Marina 6 years ago on a different podcast that won't be named. And they were adamant. They were like anti-cat. They had dogs. They were really into dogs.
Yes.
And I was just trying to tell them, like, listen, trust me on this. Cats are great. You got to give them a chance. And there's like, society doesn't want you to like cats.
Yes.
They want you to like dogs. I don't know what it is. It's like Big Dog is out there trying to make us all like dogs. If you give cats a chance, you will fall in love with them. And like, look at Bean. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's just perfect.
Yes.
Oh,
Is he gonna make a run for it?
except for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's let him go.
Bye.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Bean.
Bye, Beanie.
Okay.
Good job.
Great job, Bean. Maddie, I know you had a couple questions for Liv, so I'm gonna let you run the show. I'll jump in here and there, and then once that runs its course, we'll spin the wheel.
Great. Well, I actually wanted to start with Bean because we got him 2 days before I had surgery in August. And for me, he's just been like such a great support. And he was just my little bestie while I was going through that time. And I'm curious for you, although he's like a little kitten, like what does he mean to you in the context of what we do every day?
Yeah, I mean, what Bean means to me is just indescribable, I think. Maddy and I talk about this a lot. You're able to just come back to a little cute, precious animal who doesn't really know what's going on in the world. His only main concerns are to eat, sleep, and play like he's doing right now. So he doesn't care if, you miss 10 shots in your game or if you win the game by 20. He's going to have the same energy, and he's going to be there for you and be at the door when we come back from a long road trip with the same energy. So, yeah.
Have you found that it's like made you take on even more responsibility too? Is that part there as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's made you grow up. He's on the move. I like this. He's exploring the space around here.
Very social. He's very, very social.
He's very good for 6 months. Like we have a 6-year-old cat.
Yeah.
And he's just getting pretty good at like someone comes by and he'll walk up to him right away. But this guy wants to be around everybody.
No, yeah, we bring him to practice all the time.
Yes.
So
The team loves him.
Yeah, he's a team cat for cover. He's definitely a team cat. I wanted to bring up also, like, you play video games, Legos, like different things to kind of simplify the game a little bit and simplify our lives. I feel like even the other day I heard you before the game, we were talking about like we play a game where we dribble a ball, you got to shoot it, and you got to put it in the basket. And the little things to just kind of simplify our minds, I feel like are really important. So for you, what are ways in which you kind of just simplify the game when maybe on the outside, like even with Niele, we were talking about kind of keeping the outside noise outside.
Yeah, I think yesterday was a good example. One of our great players, Hannah, was out. And so it's another lineup change. We've had a few of those this season, a lot of parity, a lot of adversity. And the pressure could be on. You're missing someone who scores nearly 30 points a game. So obviously it's going to be different. But we were able to just, I was able to just simplify it, come together with my teammates. And just remember, like you said, that the aim of the game is just to make it in the hoop. Like that's as easy as it gets. And, we tried to play together like we always do and play for her and play for Coach Ivey and play for each other. And I think when you simplify the game, no matter who you have out on the sideline, no matter who you have in the game, it makes it really easy. So yeah, just try and take it easy and keep it light.
What video games you play?
So I play a lot of Call of Duty. I play a lot of NBA 2K. Yeah, Maddy can attest to that. Screaming, banging controllers.
Are you playing online?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're playing some 12-year-old in their basement, and they're just busting you on the stick.
There's a lot of, we call them old heads on the game. Play a lot of But no, you can tell when they go on the mic and they start speaking that,
Oh, there's some bad trash talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's fun. It's a disconnect from reality for a little bit. Our lives can get a bit stressful, so it's just fun.
Okay, I have a question about 2K real quick.
Okay.
So, you guys are how old? You're in like your early 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, 2K10 was big when I was in college, and I feel like this has been like 15 years now. Whenever I play it, it's not that much different. Like, do you feel like the game's getting better at all? Or
worse.
It's gotten worse, right?
Worse.
Okay, good.
It's gotten worse since COVID.
It's gotten worse.
No,
look, man.
This is the frustration. This is the banging of the controller.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just what? Like it's like unrealistic, kind of, right? Like
it's unrealistic. I think the game's better when it's more arcadey. They try to make it too like stiff.
Yeah, they try to make it too real, and as a result, it feels less real.
Exactly.
It should feel like a video game.
Exactly, and then it becomes slow. They add too many things, and then if your Wi-Fi's bad, it's a whole other story. So yeah, it's has its own challenges.
All-time 2K glitch. You're going up, thinking about the dunk, and they just pull up for the 2-foot jump.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
Exploit it.
I'll be in the kitchen and I can tell if you're playing 2K or not. Because she gets so mad. I'll just hear screaming.
Dang. Is it loud? It's that loud.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What else you got? Anything else for Liv?
Well, one more thing I wanted to talk about leadership, because obviously we're both captains on the team, but I've seen you, especially this summer, like you're getting back into the game. You were kind of learning how to get your pace back, how to just personally things that I'm going through right now. And then you also had the challenge of you were the one who had to bring us together vocally and all of that. And I want to kind of take a moment to say that you really inspire me, but also I'm curious how you went about that and what was your mindset through it.
Through
just embracing
leadership?
Yeah, just embracing every part of that.
I think it's a challenge every day. Leading is not hard. We had this one motivational speaker come and talk to us, and they said if no one's following you, then you're not leading the right way. So I always try to make sure I'm leading by example, a role model that people can follow, and also not putting too much pressure on myself. I am coming back of a pretty traumatic injury.
Sure.
So it's taking a second, and I've also never been in a leadership position before I got hurt. I was a sophomore underclassman. I had a lot of older people that I looked up to, and now I was just kind of thrown into, okay, you're a captain now, figure it out. So it took me a minute. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I think my teammates are trusting me more, which is most important. We always talk about trust and love, so it's getting there. But I've definitely just learned to embrace the hardest parts about it, and also the successes and the most rewarding parts about it as well.
How many days were you out?
It's either 617 or 618. I've seen both. I didn't calculate myself.
That's how many days?
Yeah.
Between games, right?
Between games.
Yeah. That's crazy. Because I remember when you got hurt. You got hurt there's no good time to get hurt, but kind of at the worst time. Because it was then to come back, it'd be really tough.
Yes.
You could rush back for the next season. By the time you were good, the season was over. How tough was that to go that many days without a game?
I honestly don't remember any of it because it was such a blur. Like, I remember recovering, and I just remember it being so difficult every day to just get up and be motivated to rehab. And, especially when you're not playing a year, it's like you don't know exactly what you're working towards, because it's just like I have so much time. So it's like I'm not, motivated to come back to play this year. So
you can't see
who am I doing it for, and what am I doing it for? So it was very hard, but like I said, it was a blur. I was telling Maddy this, like, you're not even really going to remember the time that you were out when you start playing, because you're just so focused on getting back, and there's so many people around you telling you so many things, and you're worried about your team and cheering them on. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So.
Yeah. It seems tough. I mean, we were talking about your injury, and that was last time, but just when you're injured, it's a mental battle, isn't it? You got to just do a lot of mental work before you can do the physical work.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, let's spin our wheels. Olivia, you're our guest. You're going to spin our wheel. This is Spinning Our Wheels presented by TireRack.com. They provide the wheel. Yeah, shout out Tire Rack.
Okay.
You got to spin it harder than you think.
Okay.
Just telling you.
Oh, yeah, I feel it. Okay.
That's a good spin. Wow, we get this game every time. This or that.
Spin it again.
No, we'll stick with this. Trust me.
Okay, good.
Okay. This or that. This will be good. We embrace debate, and we see where this ends up. I'll have Olivia give our first opinion. He'll be the second one. I'll kind of break the tie if need be. Okay, here we go. 10 this or that's. Number 1, shoes or slippers?
For what?
Yeah.
To play basketball in?
Context.
Interesting. I have not been fielding a lot of return volleys on these questions. Yeah, obviously not to play basketball. Let's say just like you're going out to, I can't price it. You're going out to the grocery store.
Shoes.
So you're not putting the slides on. Okay.
Because you got to carry a bunch of stuff upstairs.
Slides.
You guys disagree?
Slides.
I disagree.
You know what? I'm going shoes. I want the sturdiness.
And then
like
it's
you said.
snowy out. Like you can't get
Yeah.
the toes wet.
Yeah.
Slippers.
Okay. All right. You lose that one. Okay. Number 2, singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Singing.
Wow. Yin and yang on the roommates here. I get it. I get it now.
Dancing.
So you're dancing, you're singing.
Yeah.
Do you have, I don't make you sing, but did you sing in the past, like growing up? Good
I
boy?
think she can sing.
She thinks she can sing.
I just love music. I don't know.
Okay.
It's something about lyrics. For sure.
Oh, the message.
Yeah, the message.
Okay. It's not so much the tune, it's the message.
But I'll sing too. Like if I could sing, that's one thing.
You'd prefer that
with
talent.
Yes.
Singing.
Yeah.
So if you could pick one talent.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could.
Oh, one talent.
Yeah.
Absolutely singing.
Okay.
Okay. So there.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, man. Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
Instagram. I don't have TikTok.
Dang, she's quick on these. That's also 3 for 3 disagree. I'm older, so Instagram.
I'll
Can even tell you how to use it too.
last. You know.
What's
I
that?
don't have TikTok for a while.
I know. Instagram's here for like,
And-
yeah, you never know. You never know what's coming.
Dunzo.
Okay. In the car, windows down or air conditioning?
Windows down.
Depends on how cold it is. I mean, or how hot it is. Sorry.
68 degrees.
68. It's like a spring day. Yeah.
It's April
windows
7th.
down. Absolutely. Windows down.
Sun's
Windows
out.
But if it's 90, absolutely air conditioning. I'm
Mm.
not doing that.
Yeah.
If the sun's out and it's above 50 degrees, I got the windows down.
Wow.
I
Okay.
might have the heat on, but the windows are down.
I'm almost never windows down.
Interesting.
Yeah. Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas.
Yeah. All due respect to our topic picker. That's not even close. Okay. This is a good one. Adventure. We'll call this okay. I'm gonna modify this a touch. Vacation. Adventure or relaxation?
Ooh.
You're going on a trip.
It's a
Ooh.
mix of both.
That's
it really is.
You cannot do both.
Relaxation. We do enough on our legs and feet, I feel like.
I'm gonna find an adventure in all the relaxing. Relaxing.
Thank you.
I think if I'm going on a trip, I need to lay low. I can't be bungee jumping, all that stuff. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Coffee.
Man, this is a fascinating roommate dynamic. I love this.
It's just
Coffee
Tea.
or tea? What's your go-to?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Okay.
Iced
Sweet,
raspberry
unsweet.
tea.
Okay.
So good.
Okay. What's your coffee? What's your order?
um.
Straight up?
It depends. It depends. If I'm going to a new cafe, it's probably gonna be a hot latte with almond milk.
Mm.
If they have lavender, absolutely lavender.
Lavender.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. It
Okay.
doesn't sound like it would be, but it's really
I
popular.
believe you.
Yeah, it's
Any like
delicious.
little hipster coffee shop will have lavender in the
Yeah,
back. Give
absolutely.
me some lavender. Spice that up. Okay.
Absolutely hipster. That's it.
Okay. We debated this on the show before. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunrise.
No, like we're actually.
Now you're just still agreeing with.
Well,
Who is it? Was Isaiah Dunn that was making the case that was it sunrise will like set the tone for your day? So like he wants to see it. Yeah. But I still think the sunset hits differently than the sunrise. Also, I think this depends what coast you grew up on. So if you're on the East Coast and you're on the water, you see the sunrise a lot. Whereas if you're on the West Coast, you look out of the water, you see the sunset. It's a different perspective. So
That's a
the
good
two
point.
coasts, very different. Okay, 2 more to go here. Casual or formal?
casual.
Casual.
I'll say this. I'm in the casual camp. I'm always going to probably dress down. That said, anytime you do formal the right way, when you are done with it and you look back at it, you're very proud of it.
It's great.
It's great.
Agree.
So,
I do agree.
so there is more potential always for formal, and you can get more out of it, but it is exhausting.
Yeah.
So I appreciate formal, but I'm always going to pick casual.
That's a good argument.
Yeah.
That's a great argument.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If the option was like you'll never get to do formal again, you have to do casual forever, I'd be more hesitant to do it. And I'm just saying you need those moments of formality to make you appreciate.
For sure. Yeah.
Fully agree.
Great
Fully.
points.
Okay, last one here. Flying or driving?
Flying.
How far?
Any distance.
So I'm going to keep it real for a second. When I first read this, I thought like you have to fly the plane or you have to drive the car. But you're thinking now travel. So you're saying would you rather travel by plane or by car? You're saying by plane every time.
Every time.
I appreciate a road trip. I also love flying. So it depends how far.
Yeah.
It depends how far.
Okay, it's going to be 3 hours in the car or 3 hours in the plane.
Oh.
You get to skip security. It's just like you're on the plane, you're on the car, in the car.
That's good.
That's a
I
hard
would
one.
choose driving.
Interesting.
I don't like being on a plane for that long.
Especially with strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Team plane.
Oh, okay.
Team plane, team road trip.
I'm driving. Oh, team road trip. Ew, plane.
Plane.
Plane for
You
sure.
get your own row.
I'm on a bus.
Put the
Plane.
headphones on. Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, team plane over the team bus for 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm driving in like my truck and it's a cool road trip, absolutely, I could appreciate that.
Okay, bonus question because I heard Bean over there. Last one.
Bean.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Bean.
Bean.
Bean. Option C.
That's a great point.
Yeah, one off the
Bean.
board.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to.
Yeah, I'm going cats every time. Shout out to Bean.
Shout out to Bean.
Dean was a
you.
great guest. Thanks to him.
Thank you.
Olivia, thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see
It's
you.
been a pleasure.
Maddie, great to have you back.
Thank you. It was great to be back.
Good luck, and I'll talk to you, I think, in a few weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
See you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
That does it for this week's edition of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com. Thanks again to all of our guests, Pete Bevacqua, Coach Ivey, Olivia Miles, and Maddy Westbeld for swinging by. And we can't forget Bean. What a great little cat that guy is. Only 6 months old. He's going to be a star as he ages throughout the cat process. Thanks again. Awesome show. Women's basketball is really chugging in the right direction. We will talk to you next time on Wake Up the Echoes, presented by TireRack.com.